Alright, hey guys, and welcome to my first time ever unboxing the Lord of the Rings trading card game. We are starting with the very first set for the Fellowship of the Ring, and I'm going to get into a lot more of the history of this trading card game as we go along here, but just a very brief introduction. I found out about this game actually last year, and I kind of just passively wrote it off. You know, I didn't really think too much of it, but more recently I started looking a bit more into it and finding out just how intricate and amazing the gameplay is in this, as well as the card art as a whole, and especially the foils in this, and it really just grabbed me, and I decided to take the plunge and order some of the trading card game for Lord of the Rings, and I have been so excited for this. Now, while I may be brand new to this TCG, I did want to do some preparation for this video. So I've been extensively researching this, watching almost every video that you can find on YouTube for this trading card game. I mean, I'm not through all of them yet, but I did do a bit of history research on it, and as well as I watched an hour-long gameplay tutorial, so I have a somewhat of an idea of how the game functions as a whole, so we can kind of talk about that as I unbox these cards. I also took the time to familiarize myself with most of what I believe to be some of the more sought-after cards in this in terms of rares that can be pulled, so that way as I'm opening this, even though I'm new to this, I won't open a card that's worth like $100 and be like, oh, that's cool, okay, next pack. I'll at least know when I'm pulling something very valuable, especially with the foils and even the non-foil rares. I have a good idea of which ones are sort of in like that $5 to $10 to even upwards of $30 price range for the rares. And yeah, I've just been super psyched for this. So what do you say we start opening this up and we can talk about it as we go. We got plenty of time here. Get my card sleeves out of the way. We got plenty of time here. This is going to be a bit of a longer video. First, before we start cracking this open, as you can see, this is a sealed booster box from the company Decipher. And on the back here, as they detail, you can get you will get commons, uncommons, and rares in each pack, and the pack odds for a foil are 1 in 6, so typically in these booster boxes you're getting 6 foils, and if you're lucky, I think I've seen some people pull 7. And we'll get into the foils and what makes them so special in this set as we go. This set released in 2001, and as you can tell, this is in relation to the films that came out. So this was, you know, not using original card art. This is pretty much licensed for the films. It was meant to help promote and hype up the film trilogy as they were releasing. So every time a new movie would come out, you would see a major set release for this card game. And first of all, the first thing that I want to say is I love the box for Fellowship of the Ring, and Fellowship of the Ring is my favorite Lord of the Rings movie. I've always been a fan of just how it sets up all of the characters and the story as a whole, even though it may be a bit light on action scenes, and some people definitely prefer like Two Towers or Return of the King. I have always loved the Shire and Rivendell and just Moria, and just everything about Fellowship of the Ring to me was always perfect in meeting all the characters. So the box itself, I love this display box. We are definitely going to pop the characters out here and have this sit in the background, so let's not destroy that. Just a great retail point of purchase box display. I'm going to try and keep this in really nice condition for myself and for my collection. Looks like the box is popping out a bit in the back there, but that's okay. So let's just move this to the back. Unfortunately, their heads get a little cut off, but that's okay. Let's see if we can push them back a little bit further. Okay, so there are 36 packs in here. From what I understand, I don't think I'll be needing my scissors. I hear these packs are quite easy to open. And we will be hoping for foils. The foils are the main reason that these booster boxes hold a ton of value, because here's the thing about Lord of the Rings trading card game. Every card, all 365 cards in this set, can have a foil parallel. So that means you're getting, you know, 6 to 7 foils per box. That means that some foils are incredibly rare to pull, but that means if you pull a main character foil, that it's going to be worth a ton of money. But we'll get into that in just a moment here. So first of all, let's just talk about the card layout. So the rarity is represented down here. So 1 is the set. This is the Fellowship of the Ring. So this is the first set. U means this is an uncommon, and 285 is the card number out of 365. You'll notice that a lot of the card text actually has a banner put off to the side here. That is because of the way that you play this game, and we'll get into that in a little bit, but you have cards that have main characters. You have cards like this, which are locations. This would look amazing in a foil. Just kind of throw that out there. And you have cards that you can kind of equip onto characters in terms of weapons. But something that you'll notice, yes, these do use, ooh, that's a really good pull to start us off. I almost thought that was the foil. That would have been like a few $100 card. The cards do use stills from the film. However, Decipher was known for having really, really good shots in this card set. They had worked on sets such as Star Trek and Star Wars. Prior to this, they had learned a lot about card composition, and one of the things that really drew me to this is not only the naming of the cards. They draw a lot of names from the books and the films in terms of how they name these. This is about a $10 card here, so it's really nice to get. This is really the only card in the Fellowship of the Ring that has this sort of full art design, and as you can imagine, the foiling on this looks amazing. They foil the ring and it looks so good. So we're going to put that off to the side as a good pull card. We'll set that in a different pile. But the stills, some of them are way better than others. But a lot of times they do a really nice job of taking a screenshot from the film, pairing it with a really nice title, and also with flavor text on the bottom. So I may miss some things here that are better than others in terms of, like, I might pass by a card that's, a $10 pull in terms of a rare. One thing I do want to do, however, though, is I got to find out where the rare slot is. So this was our rare. The end comes. I'll be putting my rares off to the side, along with any good commons like that ring card and any really good pulls that we get. Actually, I should put the ring here. We will put our higher value pulls like foils and such and main character cards off to the side there. So yes, that is the one thing about this game, as I was mentioning before about the foils, is that you can pull a foil main character card and it can be worth hundreds of dollars, because you got to think about it. The chances of pulling a foil in this is quite rare, and from what research I've done, according to the wiki for this, I believe it mentions that rare foils are a lot harder to pull than common and uncommon foils. However, I did watch a video that said they all have equal pull rates, so I'm not sure if you guys know, any of you longtime collectors, if you know which cards, if which is true. Do all rarities have an equal chance of being pulled in foil? Let me know. Or are the rares more hard to pull? So what do you say we take a look at some of the naming conventions of these cards? So we've got Bred for Battle, Still Draws Breath, and these are a lot of quotes from the film. Goblin Scavengers, Summit of Amon Hen. So the way that the game functions in terms of how you play it, you're essentially trying to take your ring bearer, in most cases, from what I understand, is Frodo, though I think others can bear the ring, but I could be wrong on this. Like I said, I'm still learning. And you have 9 locations, so this would be one of the locations, and the idea is that you move Frodo from location 1 to location 9 to win the game, unless he gets killed off first instead. So that's what these location cards are mainly for. So what we're really hoping to see are... Ooh, where was my... I got to get used to where the rare is being pulled in these. Hold on. Where is the card number on this? Okay, it's in that corner. The numbers on these are... Oh, here it is, Bilbo. Bilbo, we got Bilbo. We got a main character, right? Let's keep Bilbo off to the side there. So we're really hoping to see if I can pull main character foils. Oh man, some of those can be worth big money, like Aragorn, Arwen, Frodo, Gandalf, and there's a lot of other cards too, with just notorious scenes that look beautiful in foil that can be worth a lot of money. However, there are a ton of foils that are worth $1 or $2 or $3. So the sad reality is you are taking a big gamble if you are buying these just for foils. I, however, am not just buying these boxes for foils, since I don't have any cards in the set. I'm hoping to pull one of each card eventually, which you cannot do from a booster box, because the meme card, you unfortunately you get there's 125 of each rarity, so it's impossible to actually pull one of every rare, one of every uncommon, but you can pull one of every common. Ooh, I keep passing by my rare. I gotta get better at counting this here. Hold on. Common, common, common. Oh, I'm so bad at this. I apologize. My rare is right here. Cave Troll's Hammer. So it looks like the rares actually come up fairly fast in the packs. So the one thing about these cards that I am noticing is they are they got a nice feel to them. They're a little slippery feeling. I've been opening a lot of different card games lately, so it's really interesting to feel all of the different card textures from all the cards that I've been collecting. But these ones have a good slippery, not super cheap feel to them. So let's name off some of these. Their power is in terror. Athelius. Lothlorien Woods. Oh man, that would look super nice in a foil. Oh, we got Lurtz. Okay, that's a good rare. So I've done my research. This is about a $10 card in a rare. In a foil, this is like $100. But we are looking for these main characters. And here's another really unique aspect about this game, is that you are building your... Ooh, this is another good pull. The Ring's Oppression. That's like another $5-ish card, I think, but I could be wrong on that. You are building a deck with your Fellowship, essentially, and shadow cards. Shadow cards being enemies like the orcs, goblins, ring wraiths, and you are trying to capture your opponent's ring bearer, and your opponent is trying to do the same to you. So your deck is actually made up of both good and evil characters. You're not building a deck entirely of evil or good, and you're doing this tug of war with your opponent to see who can either make it to step number 9 in locations first or destroy the ring bearer first. So you each have a deck that is both comprised of advancing through the game with your Fellowship and also shadow characters that are trying to defend and attack, well, more so attack, but defend against their ring bearer making it to step 9. So it's essentially a race and a tug of war, and the resource system in this is also really cool. That's why I'm really excited to play this game. And believe it or not, there is a community of people that dozens and dozens of people every day play. And I should probably more than that, honestly. Like, I checked yesterday, and at that time that I checked, there was like 40 people online playing a game. It was actually quite impressive. Where I'm moving my cards into the wrong slots here. Yeah, we'll keep it like this. You can play online. People are still, there's a community of people that are still playing this game actively online, which is another reason that I wanted to get into this. Oh, Goblin Swarms. That's a good card. Yes, good thing I looked this up ahead of time. I think this is a $15 to $20 rare. Very nice. So we're going to put that. I think Goblin Armory is the big rare in this set. That's like a $30 card upwards of sometimes on eBay from what I've seen. So see? Now if I was brand new and didn't do my research, I'd pull that card and move right past it, and everybody in the comments would be like, oh my god, he pulled a Goblin Swarm and didn't say anything. Nope, don't worry, I did my research. Now the foil does take the slot of a common. Where the foil will show up in the packs, I am actually unsure. Man, I would love to have some of these location cards in a foil. So yeah, there's a resource system in this where, at the time, I'm not sure if any other card games since have really emulated this, but at the time it was very unique, and in the tutorial video that I watched, it just made me so fascinated in wanting to learn how to play this game, where you... Twilight is what the resource is called in this, and Twilight in the top here, well, this is not a good indication, but this is a Twilight. So if you wanted to play this card, it costs 2 Twilight. So Twilight, think of it as a mana, essentially, but they're represented as like 2 little pieces of glass that you would physically put on the board. So if you wanted to play this, you would put 2 Twilight on the board, and then let's just say that you wanted to play another character card or something, like let's just say this one here. You would pay another 1. So pretty much all the resources that you play, you put your Twilight onto the board, but then your opponent can use that Twilight to cast their own cards. So it's a high risk, high reward kind of system. So if you play too much, your opponent might decimate you and kill you in like a turn. But if you play too little, you might not be able to advance much, but your opponent also won't be able to react too much either. But sometimes you could play a lot, get away with a lot, and your opponent won't be able to react because they might not have the right cards. So it's this really fascinating resource system. Oh my goodness, these location cards. I love Rivendell so much. I'm just so excited and nervous at the same time for, there's my rare, for what foils I will pull from this. Like I said, we are hoping for main characters and certain other really high value cards, either through just the beauty of them, like this one here I would personally like to have in a foil, one of my favorite scenes in Fellowship of the Ring. Either through the sheer beauty of the card, the character that the card is, even if it's not a good card in the gameplay itself, or just a high value card in the meta, because yes, there is a very developed meta for this. Certain cards are very strong, very powerful, so people seek them out. So even though this game has been dead since 2007, oh man, another location card that I would just love to have. there are tons of people still playing this. So there is a very developed, there's our rare, very developed player base for this. And because of that, cards are holding their value. So I'm just really excited to show you guys what the foils look like in this. I know you're waiting with anticipation in terms of what it will look like. And let me tell you, the foils in this do not disappoint. Even the most ugly cards have a really nice foiling effect. Oh man, I have to tell you, these packs, amazingly easy to open. Love it. Coming off of stuff like MetaZoo. Ooh, shoot, I just dropped all my cards. Can have some really hard to open packs sometimes. So this is not going to be a one-off. I am pretty dedicated to Lord of the Rings TCG. As you can already see, I've got another booster box behind me there for future opening. But I would love to go through sort of Middle-earth itself. So starting with Fellowship and eventually working my way up to 2 Towers sets and then Return of the King. We might do it a little out of order. Wow. Silverlode Banks. Oh, we got a Boromir. This is an uncommon Boromir. I'm only going to separate the rares. The Pale Blade is our rare. Oh man, that would look fantastic. Oh, there's our first foil, and it's Pippin. Oh, that's such a good pull. It's a common, but that's okay. It's a main character foil. Now, I do not know the price of this offhand, because I can't have all the foil prices up on the side with me here, but any main character foil is just such a good pull. Look at how happy he is for us to have pulled him. My first foil for Lord of the Rings, and it's a main character. I couldn't be more happy with that. So I couldn't even venture a guess on the value of this, but we'll just say that it's, you know, it's probably worth a decent amount. Probably, I'd imagine at least $40 or $50 for the main characters. So foiling effect in this may not be the best example because they're just foiling the background, but in other cards you'll actually see it's like I think the term is refractor, where they will spot foil certain parts. So like you might get a foil card where the only thing that's foiled is like a weapon on a character, but man, it looks so good. And then of course this stuff is foiled here too. So we are going to sleeve that up. Oh man, I was a little worried because you can definitely get a dud of a box and not get any main character foils. So we will be putting Pippin in our good pull slot there. Awesome. All right. Man, this is so fun. All right, now that we got our first foil out of the way, let's enjoy some of the names of these cards. Moria Lake, we got another Strength of Spirit. Long Bottom Leaf. They're Halls of Stone. So, as you can imagine, Fellowship of the Ring set does only encompass Fellowship of the Ring, however, as you know, for the film. However, they did release 2 expansions. So the main way that Lord of the Rings TCG worked is they would release the main set, and it would have 365 cards, I think it was. But then they would have 2 expansions per main set. So the next set after this was Mines of Moria. And as you can imagine, it has a lot to do with Moria and developing the orcs, goblins, Saruman, Balrog. And that set was 120 cards. Also containing every card can have a parallel foil. So as you can imagine, Fellowship is the hardest set to develop a full foil set for. Ooh, we got Legolas, nice. Because, well, it's got 365 cards, so that would be 365. This is like a $5 card here, so that is very nice. 365 cards, 365 foils, but the follow-up sets would have 120, so it's a little bit more feasible to do the expansions for each film. Song of the Blessed Realm. Saruman Snows. Definitely some of the weaker cards in the set. The Saruman Snow cards. There's another one that's just like really ugly. Hoping we don't get that in a foil. And then after Mines of Moria, we had Elf Lords. Realm of the Elf Lords, which is a bit of a harder set to attain. I've been trying to seek out some packs for that, but that is not easy. Doable, but not easy, especially affordably. But I would like to open up at least some of each set. And that one, of course, featured more on the elves than anything else in Rivendell. We got Gimli. At least we're getting some nice main character pulls. Thorin's Map. Where did that hollow slot in here? I'm actually unsure. We got Sam. We got the Elven Cloak. Goblin Warcrawler. Ooh, looks like we got a line. You see these lines in these cards? You see that right there? It's like a faint line in the card there. And then it's like kind of here as well. Not sure if that was in the printing or what. Ah, what a cool card. Council Courtyard. So I think the foil seems to come after the rare. I have actually seen somebody on YouTube open a pack from Fellowship with 2 rares. So there is this really rare chance. I don't know how that happens, but you can open a pack that has, 2 foils. But it does seem to, it's not like you're getting an extra foil that you shouldn't be getting. It just seems like it can happen in one pack, and you still get your average of 6 or 7 foils per box. Green Hill Country, Gift of Boats, Aragorn's Pipe, the Gaffer is our rare, Orc Scimitar, Elven Bow. So here's something pretty cool about how they design these cards. So for example, let's just say that you had a character card like Pippin, for example. Not saying that you can slot these cards together or anything, but the way these cards were designed is when you'd have them on the board, you would slot cards that equip to them on the side, which is why the names of the cards is actually landscape. So that way, as you equip cards to them, like say I'm not saying you can do this to Pippin, but let's just say that you equipped an Orc Scimitar, and then you can see, okay, now these are the cards he has equipped with him. And then their power, so if you equipped a weapon to Pippin, it would not be an Orc Scimitar, obviously, but just say it was like a Hobbit knife or something, you would increase Pippin's power from 3 plus 2. So it's really easy to see the cards that you're equipping to said characters, which I thought was a really nice card design. Uruk Messenger. We got our Murray to go along with our Pippin. We got Intimidate, Pin Down, Elendil's Valor. I actually just recently rewatched the films. Well, I take that back. I got halfway through Return of the King. I know, I got to get back to it soon. But I was watching the extended editions, and I had to put it down halfway through the film, and then I just unfortunately never got around to getting back to it because October was just around the corner, and I do streams on Twitch that require a lot of time and streaming in October, so I unfortunately never got back to it. But man, those movies are just still so amazing. Some of my favorite movies of all time. Fellowship definitely in my top 5 films ever, if not top 3, if not number 1. I've never really sat down to think about it too much. Orc Hunter's Bitter Hatred. Our rare is Desperate Measures. Aragon's Trials. It's a little hard to read these from the side. Unfamiliar Territory. Let Them Come. Hobbit Intuition. And look at the quality of these film stills. It's actually very, some of them, there are some in here that unfortunately are a little blurry, but I mean, this is just a great example, right? Like super high quality film stills. Some people will say, oh, I just wish it was original art and everything, but you got to remember this set was made to promote the movies. And if you love the movies, how can you not like the cards and the characters, everything about it, every scene, every character, everything in these movies is just classic. But there are other Lord of the Rings sets. There's like a Middle-earth card game that has original art. It looks okay. Maybe one of these days I'll open it for the channel. Not really my thing compared to the timelessness of these film cards. Trader's Voice, one of the best scenes in the film. Cruel Kadaris, that is a rare. Urvale. Something else that this card game did as the sets, one of my favorite scenes, that in a foil, please, Hobbit Stealth, give it to me. Something else that this card game did as time went on is they came up with a set called Reflections. It was the 9th set in the series, and it actually introduced characters that were in the books but not in the films. But what they did was they actually commissioned web workshops to hire actors to wear costumes and pose for these characters that had no film representation. And they took really professional screenshots and costumes of these characters, and they were so good that the official Wikipedia for Lord of the Rings actually uses the scans of these cards. Oh man, that would be another really, I love the Ringwraith cards, and having them in foil would be awesome. They actually use the scans from these cards. Power according to his stature. This is a good rare. This is we're gonna put this off to, well, we'll put it here. I think this is about a $10 card right here. Definitely a sort of like meta card for that price. Unfortunately, Pippin, that means you are getting replaced. But they actually use the scans from these cards for those characters because they were so professionally done and such high quality. So I just thought that was kind of a nice little detail. Eventually I will get to those sets, but for now I'm mostly focusing on the original trilogy of cards. And we never finished saying before, but they eventually did do the 2 towers, and then they had 2 sets for 2 towers afterwards. Oh, and then, of course, Return of the King. Return of the King cards can get a little pricey, a little harder to track down. The Dark Lord Summons. Urkai's Rampage. Our rare is Saruman's Reach. Urk Savage. Lorien Elf. Oh, another 1 ring. Okay, well. Oh, this is the other full art ring. So the other one I think was, let me check this. Man, imagine if that was foil. Oh no, it's the same one. There is another one that was Cecilia Door's Bane. So we did get 2 of the same 1 ring. Interesting, but that's a good one. If you're going to pull a double of one of the commons, that's the one that you want. Oop, what am I doing here? Fix these cards. Got to get a better card holder. Yeah, that card in the foil is several $100s, so yeah, definitely want to pull a foil of that. They're very rare. So my plans for this are to open a little bit of, I do have a little bit of Mines of Moria packs coming. I do have a little bit of Ents of Fangorn coming. I don't have anything besides that other booster box for the Black Riders, which is a set that came out after this game started becoming a bit more controversial. We might get into that. Oh, we got Gimli, rare Gimli, very nice. Oh, we got a foil. All right, let's see what we're about to get. It is a common. Ooh, nice. The Seen and the Unseen. Any foil featuring the main characters is a win in my book. We're going to put the rare Gimli on top over here. So check, this is a good example of the foiling, right? So the Pippin that we saw was, the full background was foiled, maybe because he was a main character, but now look at this foil. Just the bows and the arrows are foiled in the card art, as well as this little piece here and this section up here. But look at how cool the sort of refractor spot foiling is in this. Some cards, some foils just go a little overboard where they like foil the whole thing, or the whole entire card art is foiled, but I just love the spot foiling on this. So I don't know how much this card may be worth in foil. I will obviously check once I'm done recording this video. But still, any card featuring Frodo and Sam in a foil is a win in my book. So far I'm very happy with the foils. And we've still got at least 4 with the possibility of 5 more foils to go in the box. Did we pass by the rare? It's very easy to lose track of that. Uncommon, 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 common. Oh, the rare was Gimli, that's right. Alright. Continuing on, I'm not sure how far into the box we are, but we're just going to take it as it goes. It's going to be a sort of unexpected journey, if you will, when we get to the bottom of the box. So another thing that people do with Lord of the Rings when they play this, from what I've read, is they will play within blocks, meaning they will only play decks from the Fellowship of the Ring sets, which is, you know, main set and then the 2 expansions, and then our rare here is Valiant Men of the West. They will also then do decks that are only allowing cards from 2 Towers or Return of the King, or decks that only allow all 3 films from the trilogy, the main trilogy. So there is a set of cards that came out after the main films had finished, and those were very poorly received by the community because they kind of reworked how the entire game works. But we will, once I open up my box of Black Riders, we will go over that a bit more. But just know that the Fellowship block is among many the most beloved because of how simplistic the mechanics were, very easy to understand. Sauron's Defenses. Milorn's Trees. So please also, oh, Goblin Archer. Anytime I see a Goblin rare, that's always a good thing, because apparently Goblin decks are quite strong in this, so getting any good Goblin cards is always welcome. If I misspeak on anything in terms of the Ring's Oppression, it is a common, but I'm going to put that over in the rare slot just because I think that is one of the good commons that you want to pull multiples of. I probably shouldn't be putting it with the rares, but that's okay. But yeah, if I misspeak on anything, if I get any details wrong. Like I said, I am still new to this, but I did try and do as much research as I could, so I'd be able to speak somewhat educated on this game, opening it, rather than just looking at the art and being like, okay, that's cool, we got fear. Sorry about everything. I am sorry that I brought this upon you. Sorry you must carry this burden. So yes, every card has quotes, lore from the films or book. Did I pass the rare? Oh, right, it was Rage. Sorry, it can be a little hard to do commentary and keep track of commons and rares and uncommons and sorting this as I go. So here's the unfortunate thing about 2020. You all know what happened with the card game boom. So apparently this game has always had fans that have been playing ever since its demise, and it did reach its demise when Decipher actually, unfortunately, lost the license to Lord of the Rings. And they were struggling so much financially that, unfortunately, losing the license to Lord of the Rings meant that that was it. That was it for Decipher as a card game creator, manufacturer, designer. And after that, you know, people continued to play the game. It's always had a very loyal following. I'm trying to stack my cards here without them falling over. It's always had a very loyal following. But obviously, when card games die, they do lose a lot of value. And there was a point where booster boxes of this for certain sets were in the $20 to $30 range. And I've heard reports of people getting booster boxes at under $20 or $10 for certain sets. Moria Axe is our rare. And then when 2020 hit and the boom of trading cards, okay, we're going to stop putting this in the rare pile now. We seem to get a lot of them. The prices on this skyrocketed. So yes, booster boxes now are, you know, a lot more pricey, like triple to quadruple or more the prices that they used to be. In some cases, way more than that for some of the more rare sets. Pack prices have gone up. Some of them are still very reasonable, however, and still way cheaper to collect than your modern card games. Another beautiful location card. But yes, even collecting foils now. I'm not sure on foil prices on how much that has been. Ooh, this is a rare weapon. Bow of the Galadrim. Oh, we got a foil. Okay, please be something good. It is a... Oh, wait, what? 1P 365. Oh my god. What the heck? You can pull this from a pack? Oh my god. This, I mean, like I said, I'm not an expert on prices, but I do, like, I saw the 1P 365, like, I have to look this up in real time. Hold on. I don't edit my videos, so this is, you guys are going to have to bear with me for a second here. Just give me a second. Let me grab my keyboard here real quick. I got it off to the side. I've got to check this. Like, what the heck? I had no... And I thought I had done, like, decent research. I had no idea that you can pull promo cards from the booster boxes. Okay, so this is 1P365 Aragorn. Okay. So it's about a $50 foil from what I'm seeing here. So not insane, but still a really awesome foil to pull. There's somebody asking $50 for it on eBay right now, unsold. Wow, I'm just so surprised. I can't believe I got two character. Hold on, Aragorn. Let's just do piece 365 Aragorn. Take off the one just to double check. Yeah, so I don't know the price exactly on that, but there's someone asking $50 for it. So let's just figure that that's probably about a $50 foil. Really awesome. I thought for a moment I pulled like the rarest card in the set, which I don't think is the case, but still, oh my goodness. I can't believe I pulled an Aragorn foil for my first booster box. And it's beautiful. Look at how they foiled him. They just foiled the trim work on his shirt. How cool is that? Awesome. Okay, I'm like extremely happy with this box so far. While we're at it, what the heck? Let's check the Pippin, just so that, you know, we're not left in suspense here. Pippin 1C 306. 306 Pippin. You have to excuse me. I know this seems super unprofessional, but since I'm so new to this, you know, I would like to know how sought after some of these character cards are, you know? And our Pippin he is about, okay, he's about a $10 card. But hey, that's okay. A main character foil is still a very welcome addition. You can't complain with that. 2 main character foils. Unfortunately, we're not pulling the ones that are like super duper sought after and expensive, but you know, it's a good start. You can definitely buy a booster box from this and get no character foils and just get all foils that are worth like $1 or $2, so I can't complain. And on top of all the amazing rares that we're pulling, character rares, character uncommons, it's a good box. It's a great start into my journey of Lord of the Rings trading card game. Alright, a host avails little. Restlessness. Buckleberry Fairy. Gimli's Battle Axe is our rare. Shoulder to Shoulder. Urk Shaman. Battle Fury. Frenzy. Moria Lake. Strength of Spirit, another great scene from the films, and a really nice way to name that card. So how many foils do we have now? We have 3. 3 foils. I promise I won't check any of the others, unless it's just something, another character card or something. I'm just so excited to open these. You guys have no idea how, I've been like living Lord of the Rings trading card game videos lately on YouTube. And just Band of the Eye. You know, just really enjoying delving into the history of this set and why fans loved and still continue to love this series, especially playing it. And I do intend to play this game. I don't intend to just buy these and just collect. Of course, playing will mostly be through the website we can play it on. I will have a link to that website actually in the description of this video for any of you that are curious about checking it out. They're also working on a brand new Wikipedia page for this, like a wiki page that is looking really nice, and it's coming along nicely to help ease players into the set and all the cards. But when it comes to playing, yes, I mostly play online, but it will be nice to have like cards that I can reference in person to help me build my decks. To like look through a binder and be like, okay, let's add this one to my deck or that one. We got Perry as our rare. And doing Wilderland, and I think eventually if I can play over like webcam or something, once I get better at playing and understanding the game and knowing all the cards, I think I would start using physical cards over Discord or webcam and such. Just because I always prefer playing physical when possible, even though it's kind of hard for me to do these days, and setting up a webcam over Discord, not the easiest thing, but still the fact that you can easily just play this online is really awesome. I will be collecting, I will be attempting to collect the full foil set of something. I don't know if it's going to be Fellowship. Oh man, this card in foil looks so good. It's not very expensive, but it's a really good looking foil. Oh, we got Sting. That's a good rare. That's like a $10 rare right there, from what I've seen on eBay, like 8 to 10. Mordor's Strength. Threat of the Unknown. Uruk Soldier. Stairs of Khazad-dûm. We got a Sam. And Goblin Wallcrawler. Looks like we're maybe a little bit more than halfway through the box, maybe like a third left from what I'm seeing. We still got 3 more foils to go, potentially 4 more foils. I feel one coming up here soon. We got Brigate. The number must be few. Great card that has such nice colors. Drawn to its power. Seeking its master. Ooh, man, that card, it just like startled me. I remember I was on eBay and I was looking at this card and I was like, wow, that card would look amazing in foil. Look at how amazing that looks. Okay, no, we're gonna look this one up just because it looks so cool. U238. I'm not expecting this to be super expensive or anything like that, but just the card art on this is so startling. I mean, it startled me. You saw that U238 foil. what is the name of this card? Wreathed in Shadow? Great name, by the way. Wreathed in Shadow. Wreathed in Shadow apparently has none that have sold. So yeah, probably not one that too many people are either. Oh, okay, it's about a moderately played foil is pretty cheap, but that's moderately played. One that is near mint, they're asking 30, and another near mint, they're asking 40 bucks. So who knows what it's worth? No one has bought either of those, but oh my goodness. What an amazing foil. That's the scene with all the ring wraiths coming out of the shadows, holding their swords. They are beings in twilight without form to catch the points of weapons. Wow, like what amazing foils I have been pulling. It's not a rare foil, but I'm not even kidding you guys. I was on eBay like today and I saw this card and I was like, oh man, I didn't even see the foil version of it. I just said that would be so cool to have in a foil. I'm sure it looks great. And I never expected it to be one of the ones that I pulled. Holy smokes. You know what? I hope you guys don't mind. Because what I would like to do is actually just add up the value of the box in the foils that I've pulled. So this is C58. The seen and the unseen. Seen and the unseen. Let's just check this right now. Just so that at the end I can be like, all right, we pulled this much in value just from the foils. Seen and... Whoops. My keyboard's like off to the side in a really awkward spot, so... Seen and the unseen foil. My guess for this would be like a few bucks, but you never know. Yeah, it is about a $5 foil for seen and the unseen, like $5 to $7, about what I was expecting from that. Just so that we know at the end. So we have about 2 more foils, I think, right? How many foils are we up to? 1, 2, 3, 4 foils so far. So we've still got at least 2 to go. But I have been very happy so far with the foil pulls. Even the ones that aren't main characters have just been such amazing foil art. All right, let's keep going. And as you know, time goes on and I open more of these in the future, I won't take the time to check prices live in a video. Just that I'm just so excited to find out, you know, what I'm opening here. And let you guys know too, because I'm sure some of you, you know, especially if you don't know this card game, you're not going to sit there and go check the prices of what I'm opening. So it's, there's our rare. It's kind of nice to just have an idea of like the value of the foils. This is probably the worst card art in the game. Saruman's Chill. Actually, there's another one that's worse, but I don't think it's in the Fellowship of the Ring. We'll see it one day. I'll point it out. Goblin Scimitar. Shadow's Reach. Goblin Patrol Troop, and Delving. By the way, thank you to those of you that have made it this far into the video. If you've been watching for this long, I do really appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing, because I will be opening a lot more Lord of the Rings in the future on this channel, but know that this channel is a variety TCG channel, so I do cover things such as MetaZoo, a little bit of Pokemon here and there, as well as other like obscure card games, whether they be new ones from Kickstarter, or apparently now I'm getting into the vintage, like with Decipher's Lord of the Rings. But I do cover also Final Fantasy trading card game. I do a little bit of everything. Okay, our rare. Ooh, that's a good one. Double shot. This is a $10 rare. I did my research. This is apparently a very good card for decks. That's a good rare to get. Uruk Warrior, Swordman of the Northern Kingdom. We got our common Frodo, Lord of Moria, Orc Soldier, Hobbit Sword. See, that's the sword that you'd be equipping the Pippin, not Hey Orc Scimitar. And the White Arrows of Lorien. Man, so fun though. I feel like I'm being spoiled by this first box. I can't imagine other boxes being this good in the future. The Long Dark. Shire Lookout Point. Rumiel. A rare is Full of a Took. One of the best scenes in the movie. Full of a Took. Throw yourself in next time and rid us of your stupidity. Old Toby. Goblin Spear. Orovale. Urkai Armory. Cleaning Blow, and Hobbit Stealth, and Dagger Strike. Just enjoying the last few packs here that we've got, as we are starting to near the end of this box. But yeah, consider subscribing to the channel. Also be sure to leave a like and a comment. It's always a good idea to do likes and comments on videos like this for obscure older TCG videos, because it helps people, it helps YouTube algorithms recommend this. This is a fantastic looking foil, by the way. I've seen this pulled on YouTube. So the better the algorithm for this video's discovery, the more people that will learn about Lord of the Rings TCG. Morgul Skulker, because it might get recommended to them in their feeds. The Saga of Elendil. Ooh, that's a really good rare. If I remember right, that is like a $5 to $10 rare. That's a good one. Orc Inquisitor, Goblin Warrior, Farin, Hobbit Farmer, Defiance, Uruk Rager, and Pathfinder. Apparently we've still got 2 foils hidden in these last few packs. They're really saving them for the end. That is the one danger of pulling or buying singles packs for this, because somebody could theoretically open the 6 or 7 foils really quickly in their box and then just dump the rest of the packs because they know that they're not going to have any more foils. But Desperate Defense of the Ring is our rare. I can't remember if that's a good one. I think it is. I think that might actually be a good rare. Might be one of the $10 rares. I might have been getting that one confused with the common that we saw earlier. Shadow's Reach, Goblin Control Troop, Delving, Stout and Sturdy. And we'll go a little bit faster through some of the later commons that we have seen a bunch of already. But I think the game is just like so rare, people probably did not buy a booster box and recently open it and do what, mapping out and selling the rest of the packs that they don't have foils, because a lot of these packs have probably just been sitting around loose for many, many years. They don't know the origins. They don't know where they came from. This would look amazing in foil. Nazgul Sword, Ancient Chieftain. I think that might be a decent rare from what I can recall. Orc Inquisitor, Goblin Warrior, Farin again, another Hobbit Farmer. This feels like almost a repeat of that pack we just opened before. Alright, we're down to our last 4 packs, and there's still apparently 2 foils to be pulled. Man, I'm getting a little worried. All Thought Bent on It. Ancient Enmity. Frodo's Bedroom is our rare. This is actually our first rare pull. This is a rare, right? No, that's an uncommon. Ooh, that's a good rare. If I remember right, this is like a $10 to $15 rare. The Last Alliance of Elves and Men, which also would look amazing in a foil. Speaking of which, our foils. There's got to be one coming up real soon. Swordsman of the White Tower. Drums in the Deep. What a great name for that card. Dwarf Guard. Uruk Bloodlust. There's our common Pippin that I thought was like a $50 card, but he's actually $10 Pippin, darn it. Okay. 3 packs left. Is it possible that you can get screwed and only get 4 foils? Oh boy. I mean, I'd be okay with it because my foils were just so good, but I would be a little disappointed. This definitely would not have been a box that I described earlier where someone would open up like half the packs and get all the foils and sell the rest of the packs, because they would have had to dive real deep into this box. They'd be selling like 1 pack. Alrighty. Orphan. Another. I just love that Rivendell Waterfall card so much. Foil, please. The Witch King rare. That's a good rare, I'm assuming. It's probably like $5 to $8. We got a Sam. Uruk-hai Sword. The Ring's Oppression. Okay. Let's hope this isn't some kind of weird error box. From every box I've watched open on YouTube has always had like 6 foils. So our last 2 foils have to be in these last 2 packs, or maybe we got a double foil pack. Let's find out. Orc Scouting Band. What is this new delivery? Darrow Chamber. Our rare is Curse Their Foul Feet. Uruk Messenger. Marry. Intimidate. Pin Down. Elendil's Valor. Halls of My Home. And Orc Ambusher. Okay, did I miss a foil somewhere in one of these packs? My goodness. I don't think I did. Weathered Shadow, Aragorn, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me know in the comments below, have you opened a booster box of Fellowship of the Ring and only received 4 foils? Very interesting. Unless this last pack is a double foil pack. I wouldn't be surprised. How insane would that be if the last pack that I open from this box is a double foil pack? Alright, here we go. Goblin Runner. The Gaffer's Pipe. Mithril Mine. Our rare is Hate. Songs of the Blessed Realm. Saruman Snows. You Bring Great Evil. Plundered Armors. Okay. Ettenmoors. Their Halls of Stone. And okay, we only got 4 foils. Okay. I guess when it comes to Fellowship of the Ring boxes, it's not guaranteed 1 in 6. They're not like packaged that way. It's just like, hey, it's true 1 in 6 odds. You could actually theoretically get completely screwed by, you know, not getting the 1 in 6. Let me just do a really quick sweep through these just to check and make sure that we didn't. Maybe the light will reflect it in such a way that we may have missed a foil in here. That's just crazy. This is the first box and I've watched quite a few recently for booster boxes. First one that I've only seen 4 pulled from. But hey, I'm not going to complain because the character, I got the Aragorn. I got some really nice foils in here. But I'm just doing a double sweep here because all my talking and distractions could have very easily thrown me off and missed a foil somewhere. Also because I wasn't super aware of what the foil slot was exactly. I'll have to watch the video back so I'm better prepared in the future. Man, can you open a box and get no foils? I think that's kind of probably impossible. Well, maybe not impossible given what happened here, but probably very unlikely. I know not the most thrilling content, but you never know. We could have missed something amazing in here. Because one thing you got to remember, some of the foils are actually very hard to actually tell that is a foil to begin with. Because the foiling on some of these cards can be very subtle. I'm not really seeing. I'm just looking for like reflections coming off the card border. Top right. I think you can look on the top right and see the foil. Well, alright, we won't go through the last deck. I'm pretty sure that I was quite thorough on the foils, right? Now, you know what? Let's be safe. It only takes a minute. I'll probably do another check through these off video just to double check it. But man, that makes opening Fellowship of the Ring boxes even more scarier. Scary is the fact that you can just get terrible foils, but also scary in the fact that you can also apparently pull way below the odds of what you should get from a booster box. But I guess that's a good way to keep you opening packs and not stopping once you get like 4 or 5. Because you think there's a 6th, but there's really not. Alright, so we did a quick sweep through all the cards. We did not get another foil. But let's give a quick recap here on our foils. We did get this amazing Weathered in Shadow. This one that took my breath away. One promo Aragorn, number 365. The Seen and the Unseen. Got our rare Gimli and our foil Pippin, our first foil pulled. Power According to His Stature rare. Goblin Swarms, Lurts, and 2 of these One Ring commons. And then our rares, there might have been a couple that slipped out of here if I wasn't paying attention. We got Hate, Curse Their Fell Feet, the Witch King. Last Alliance, Elves and Men, Ancient Chieftain. There's also a couple commons, I think, in here. Desperate Defense of the Ring, the Saga of Elendil, Fool of a Took, Double Shot, some really good rares in here. from what my research has told me. Unearthful Foe, Sting, Parry, Band of the Eye, Gimli's Battle Axe, Bow of the Galadriel, Moria Axe, Fear. This is the common that I got that confused with the, I think I know what I was getting it confused with. Goblin Archer, Valiant Man of the West, Saruman's Reach, Cruel Cadarthus, Desperate Measures, the Gaffer, Thorin's Map. Oh, Thoror's Map. Sorry, I was reading that as Thorin. Ulair Kantia, the Pale Blade, Forces of Mordor, Guard Commander, Mordor Enraged, Cave Troll's Hammer. Getting the Cave Troll would have been really nice. It's like a $20 card. Bilbo Baggins, and The End Comes. So there you go, guys. That is my first opening of Lord of the Rings, the trading card game. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the highs and the lows. I still had a lot of fun. Once again, be sure to subscribe for more Lord of the Rings TCG content coming up here in the near future. Thank you very much for watching.